There's an old street I still know, though I haven't walked it for years. Every corner keeps your shadow, like you never disappear. The coffee shop still closes late, the window catches evening rain. Everything has slowly changed except your name. Some stories end, but never fade. Where hearts stay is never on a map. It's every little memory we can never get back. Where hearts stay, time cannot erase. Some people leave this world, but never leave their place. I still hear the autumn leaves moving softly through the trees, like they're carrying your voice back to me. Photographs begin to fade, but not the love we made. Some moments live forever, even after yesterday. Close your eyes, you'll understand. Where hearts stay is never on a map. It's every little memory we can never get back. Where hearts stay, time cannot erase. Some people leave this world and never leave their place. If tomorrow finds me smiling, know it's because of you. Every light you left behind still helps me make it through. Where hearts stay beyond the years we've known, love never really disappears, it simply finds a home. Where hearts stay inside every heartbeat, until the day we finally meet. Where hearts stay forever. The rain still falls outside my room, like it did that afternoon when you smiled before goodbye, never knowing it was the last time. Your favorite chair is by the door, no one sits there anymore, but somehow every evening light still feels like you're inside. Time keeps moving, but my heart remains somewhere between tomorrow and yesterday. If you were here, I'd tell you everything about the nights I couldn't sleep and all the songs I couldn't sing. If you were here, this house would feel alive. Some people leave the world behind, but never leave our lives. I still drive that old familiar road, even though there's nowhere left to go. Every street remembers us more than anyone. The radio plays our favorite song. I still whisper all the words, like somehow through the midnight sky you might hear my voice. Every memory still knows your name. Maybe hearts are built to keep the ones they leave behind. If you were here, I'd tell you one more time, thank you for the love you gave. It still keeps this heart alive. If you were here, I'd smile instead of cry, because loving you was the greatest part of life. If you were here, I'd still call your name. I found your letter yesterday, hidden in a drawer we never changed. The paper's old, the ink has faded, but every word still knows my name. You wrote about the little things: morning coffee, autumn winds. You never knew those simple lines would be the ones I'd read 1,000 times. Some voices never disappear, they just learn to live inside our memories. The last letter still folded in my hands, like time was waiting patiently for me to understand. The last letter says more than words can say. Some goodbyes are never spoken, they quietly remain. The window lets the evening in, dust is dancing in the light. I read your handwriting again, as if it could bring you back tonight. Every page becomes a photograph, every sentence breathes your laugh. For just a moment in this room, it feels like I still belong with you. Love doesn't vanish with goodbye, it changes into something we carry. The last letter still folded in my hands, like time was waiting patiently for me to understand. The last letter says more than words can say. Some goodbyes are never spoken, they quietly remain. If I could write one back to you, I'd tell you that I'm doing fine, but I'd also say I still look for you in ordinary moments of my life. The last letter will never lose its place, because every line you left behind carries your embrace. The last letter I'll never throw away. Some hearts keep speaking long after words have faded. I folded it again and held it close. Your jacket's still beside the door, like you're coming home once more. Some habits never learn to leave, even after everything. The clock keeps moving on the wall, but time stood still inside these halls. Funny how a quiet room can still be full of you. We built tomorrow inside yesterday. We almost had forever, we almost had it all. Just one more page before the story lost its words. We almost had forever, now forever feels too far. But every broken dream still carries who we are. Found our names inside a book, marked on pages that we loved. The ink has faded over time, but not what's on my mind. The autumn air still smells the same, every season knows your name. Some memories don't ask to stay, they simply never leave. Some hearts keep waiting even when they know. We almost had forever, we almost had it all. Just one more page before the story lost its words. We almost had forever, now forever feels too far. But every broken dream still carries who we are. Never measured by how long two people stayed. Maybe love is what remains after everything has changed. We almost had forever, but forever isn't gone. It lives inside every part of who I've become. We almost had forever, and I'll always be grateful, because even for a while I was loved. We almost had forever. Curtains move without the wind, like they're waiting to let you in. Your favorite book is on the shelf, exactly where you left it. The coffee cup has gathered dust, but I can't bring myself to touch the little things you left behind. Still hold you every night. Some houses never lose a soul, even after someone goes. This empty room still calls your name. Every wall remembers what time could never change. This empty room still feels alive, like your footsteps never really said goodbye. The picture frame hangs slightly low. I never fixed it after all, 'cause somehow every little flaw still reminds me of us. The evening sun comes through the glass, painting shadows from the past. For just a moment I believe you're walking back to me. Memory is a quiet guest, it never asked, it simply stays. This empty room still calls your name. Every wall remembers what time could never change. This empty room still feels alive, like your footsteps never really said goodbye. Maybe love doesn't disappear, maybe it changes every room into a place where memories continue breathing. This empty room will always keep every laugh, every tear, every promise you gave to me. This empty room isn't empty at all, because your love still lives here. Good night, wherever you are. The morning starts the way it did, sunlight through the window blinds. I almost turned to tell you something, then remember you're not here. The kettle sings its quiet song, 2 coffee cups but only one. Some habits stay much longer than the people that they're from. The silence has a melody only broken hearts can hear. I still hear your voice in the ordinary days, in the laughter down the hallway, in the words I never say. I still hear your voice like an echo in the rain. Love may leave the room behind, but it never leaves the name. Your old sweater hangs upstairs, still carrying your perfume. I close my eyes for just a second, and you're standing in the room. The records that we used to play still spin on quiet Saturdays. Every note reminds my heart some songs never fade away. Maybe love doesn't end, it simply learns a different language. still hear your voice in the ordinary days, in the laughter down the hallway, in the words I never say. I still hear your voice like an echo in the rain. Love may leave the room behind, but it never leaves the name. If memories are all I have, then I'll hold them without fear. 'Cause every life you touched still keeps you somewhere near. I still hear your voice when the world grows still at night. Every whisper in the darkness feels like you're beside my light. I still hear your voice, not with ears, but with my heart, and that's where you've been from the very start. Every quiet night, the evening settled on your face like the sun had lost its place. Neither one of us could find the courage to say goodbye. Your hand was warm inside of mine, like we still had borrowed time. The silence knew what we ignored long before we did. If I had known how fast the moment fades, I'd have stayed a little more. Stay a little longer, just until the stars appear. Let the night grow older, while I pretend you're still here. Stay a little longer, don't let this moment end. Some hearts keep holding on long after goodbye begins. The coffee slowly lost its steam. We talked about forgotten dreams, laughing like tomorrow had already been promised. The streetlights woke one after one. The daylight quietly was gone, but I kept wishing time itself would simply stop. One more smile, one more embrace, I'd remember every second. Stay a little longer, just until the stars appear. Let the night grow older, while I pretend you're still here. Stay a little longer, don't let this moment end. Some hearts keep holding on long after goodbye begins. I don't need forever now, just another quiet hour. Sometimes love is measured by the moments we couldn't keep. Stay a little longer, even if it's only in my mind. I'll keep this evening safe for the rest of my life. Stay a little longer, road I never take, though it still remembers us. Every corner holds a shadow of the life we almost touched. The city moves without a pause, while my heart stays where you were. Funny how 1,000 faces can't replace just one. We're not strangers, we're not the same, just two souls calling different names. Somewhere between us, the silence learned to speak. In every word we never said, in every promise we couldn't keep. Somewhere between us, a little light remains. Not enough to bring you back, but enough to know you changed me. The seasons turned without asking, leaves became another spring. Yet every time the rain begins, it carries you again. I stopped searching for reasons. Some stories never need an end, they simply find another way to live inside the heart. Maybe distance isn't space at all. Maybe it's the time we couldn't hold. Somewhere between us, the silence learned to speak. In every word we never said, in every promise we couldn't keep. Somewhere between us, a little light remains. Not enough to bring you back, but enough to know you changed me. If we meet again someday, I won't ask what went wrong. I'll just thank you for every beautiful moment you left behind. Somewhere between us, love still softly stays. Not in yesterday, not in tomorrow, but in every part of me today. Somewhere between us, you'll always be. The city sleeps beneath the rain, streetlights shimmer on the pavement. Every window hides a story just like mine tonight. The clock keeps whispering 2 a.m. while silence fills the room again. I've been talking to the darkness more than anyone. Sometimes healing has no sound. It arrives without being found. Before the morning comes, I'll leave these tears behind. Not because I've stopped missing you, but because it's time before the morning comes. The sky will change its shape. Even broken hearts can learn to welcome day. Your name still lives inside my mind, like like an old familiar skyline. I don't try to chase it now, I simply let it pass. Every photograph still breathes, every song still carries you. But tonight I finally understand, love doesn't ask to stay. Every sunrise starts the same, with one small light breaking through the gray. Before the morning comes, I'll leave these tears behind, not because I've stopped missing you, but because it's time. Before the morning comes, the sky will change its shape. Even broken hearts can learn to welcome day. If grief is just another kind of love, then maybe I've loved enough to let your memory become a quiet place instead of a painful one. Before the morning comes, I'll open up the blinds, let the light fall gently across this heart of mine. Before the morning comes, I'll whisper one last prayer. Thank you for the life we shared, I'll carry you everywhere. Before the morning comes, I'll be alright. The rain was falling quietly, like the sky already knew. You smiled before you closed the door, the way you always do. There were words we never said, floating somewhere in the air. We both believed there'd be another day to meet them there. No one ever knows which goodbye will be the last. The night you left, the world kept turning, cars drove by, the stars kept burning, but everything inside of me stopped where you stood. Some nights are over, but never gone for good. Footsteps slowly disappeared into the sound of pouring rain. I watched until the empty street forgot your name. The clock moved on without regret. Morning came like nothing changed, but every sunrise after that has never felt the same. Time moved forward, my heart stood still. The night you left, the world kept turning, cars drove by, the stars kept burning, but everything inside of me stopped where you stood. Some nights are over, but never gone for good. with you. The rain has stopped, but I still hear it. Yesterday still walks with me, in little moments no one sees. A song, a smile, an empty chair. You're quietly still there. The seasons changed outside my door, but I don't count the days anymore. I've learned that missing someone can still leave room to grow. I carried every memory like stones inside my hands, until I learned some things are lighter when they're held by the heart. Holding on to yesterday doesn't mean I'm standing still. Every memory you gave me helps me climb another hill. Holding on to yesterday with a smile instead of tears. Love becomes a quiet light that stays through all the years. I hear your laughter in the rain, not with sadness, not with pain, just a gentle reminder of the life we used to share. The road ahead is still unknown, but I no longer walk alone, because every step I take carries part of you. Some goodbyes become new beginnings. Holding on to yesterday doesn't mean I'm standing still. Every memory you gave me helps me climb another hill. Holding on to yesterday with a smile instead of tears. Love becomes a quiet light that stays through all the years. You were never meant to stay forever, neither was the rain, but both of you taught me how the sun returns again. Holding on to yesterday, now I understand. Love is not about holding on, it's about who you become. Holding on to yesterday has finally set me free, because every part of you still lives inside of me. Walk with me. I don't look for you in every crowd like I used to long ago. I've learned that love can still remain even when we let it go. Sometimes the evening sky turns gold and I smile without a reason. Maybe that's your quiet way of reminding me you're near. The wind still knows your name, but now it brings me peace. I hope you found the light beyond we see, where every broken dream becomes eternity. I hope you found the light where pain has disappeared. And if you ever think of me, I hope you know I'm grateful you were here. Bloom another spring, the birds still greet the dawn. Life continues soft and slow, just as you would want. I've stopped asking heaven why some answers never come. Instead I thank the days we shared for making who I've become. Love isn't measured by how long we stay, but by the lives we gently change. I hope you found the light beyond the stars we see, where every broken dream becomes eternity. I hope you found the light where pain has disappeared. And if you ever think of me, I hope you know I'm grateful you were here. One day, when my journey reaches home, I won't bring regrets, I'll only bring every beautiful memory we made together. I hope you found the light shining endlessly until that distant morning comes. Keep a place for me. I hope you found the light. I'll carry you inside, not as goodbye, but as a reason. I learned how to love. Sleep peacefully until we meet again. I walk the roads we used to know. The seasons came, the rivers flowed. So many things have changed with time, but one thing never did. The way your kindness shaped my heart still lights the places life grows dark. You're no longer by my side, yet somehow you never left. Love doesn't disappear, it becomes the road that leads us home. You'll always be home in every beat of my heart, in every sunrise, in every brand new start. You'll always be home, the oceans lie between. Love is never measured by the things we've seen. Now I smile more than I cry when I look into the sky, because I know somewhere beyond you're finally at peace. Every lesson that you gave, every promise that we made lives inside the life I live. Every single day I don't hold on because you're gone. I carry you because of love. You'll always be home in every beat of my heart, because someone once loved him first. You'll always be home, wherever I may go. The world is wide, but my heart already knows. You'll always be home, until my days are through, and every beautiful thing I become will always begin with you.